Recording in progress.
Welcome, everybody. It is 1:30 on May 1st. Let's call the Board of Adjustments meeting to order. Can we get a determination of quorum, please?
Rob Pierce.
Present.
Peter Gashon.
Present.
Kathy Julian.
Present.
Leo Harishny.
Present.
And Don Christensen on Zoom. Don, if you will please unmute.
Might be better. Don Christensen, present.
Wonderful.
Thank you, John. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Will you all please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we please have the ethics law announcements?
Board members are reminded that if with respect to any matter or any person coming before the board today, you've received a gift or loan, you have a pecuniary interest, you have a commitment in a private capacity, you provide a representation or counseling before an agency to a person or entity for compensation within the last year, you must disclose that gift, loan, interest, commitment, or prior representation at the time the matter is being considered. You must furthermore abstain from deliberation or voting on the matter if it's clear the gift, loan, interest, commitment, or prior representation would materially affect the independence of judgment of a reasonable person. Board members are also reminded under Board of Adjustment rules, if you've had any contact outside this meeting with any person interested in a matter coming before the board, you should disclose the nature of that contact at this meeting. This meeting is being held in the County Commission chambers and via Zoom. To attend via Zoom, please log into the webinar using the link found on the agenda. You can also join by typing zoom.us into your computer browser, clicking join a meeting, and entering ID 872-156-75749. This meeting is also available by telephone only. The number is 1-669-900-9128 with the same meeting ID number, and press pound. For those wishing to provide public comment via Zoom, logging into the Zoom webinar using the link, utilize the raise hand feature during any public comment period. To provide comment by telephone, press *9 to raise hand and *6 to mute, unmute.
Thank you very much. Can we have the appeal procedure, please, Mr. Lloyd?
Yeah, most decisions rendered by the Board of Adjustment are appealable to the Board of County Commissioners. If you disagree with the decision of the Board of Adjustment and qualify as an aggrieved person or party, you may appeal in writing within 10 calendar days from the date that the decision being appealed is reduced to writing, filed with the Secretary of the Board of Adjustment, and mailed to the original applicant in the proceeding being appealed in accordance with Washoe County Code. Please call the planning staff immediately at 775-328-6100 for information on the appeal procedure and the application fee.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, moving on to item number 6, approval of today's agenda. I have no changes. Can I get a motion to approve as written?
Peter Gashon, for the record, I move to approve the May 1st, 2025 agenda.
We'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 7, the April 3rd draft minutes.
Chair Pierce, you didn't ask for public comment?
Item 5.
You didn't ask for public comment.
Not yet. We haven't got there yet. Oh, sorry. You're right. Yeah. Huh.
No worries.
It's okay.
For the record, there's no public comment in chambers or via Zoom.
You're right. Sorry, I skipped right over that. All right, moving on to number 7 then. Approval of the April 3rd draft minutes. That was the last meeting minutes. Everybody get a chance to look at it. Do we have any changes, or can I get a motion to accept?
Kathy Julian, for the record, I move that we approve the draft minutes.
From April 3rd, and I will second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right. Thank you for keeping me straight and narrow. All right, moving on to the public hearing items. Number 8, it's an administrative case number, WAD-MIN 25-0001 for a community pancake breakfast. Mr. Lloyd, would you like to announce that?
Yeah, for hearing, discussion, and possible action to approve an administrative permit for an outdoor entertainment event, specifically a pancake breakfast for 500 attendees at the North Lake Tahoe Fire Protection District Station at 875 Tanager Street on July 3rd, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And representing Washoe County in this matter is Planner Julie Olander.
Okay, for the benefit of a couple new members that we have, can we please hear this presentation?
Good afternoon, Julie Olander for the record. So this is the community pancake breakfast.
Can we turn on our microphone?
Oh,
Is it on?
it's on? Oh, sorry, I need to move up. This is community pancake breakfast, administrative permit 25001. So as I said, this is an administrative permit to allow an outdoor community event business license with conditions for the community pancake breakfast to be held at the North Lake Tahoe Fire Protection District Station at Incline Village on July 3rd. This event qualifies as an outdoor community event and under Washoe County Code requires an administrative permit. The event will be held, has been held for about the last 21 years, probably this is 21. And it's a free breakfast and it's open to the community. And it's the opportunity for the Fire Protection District at the lake to say thank you to the neighbors, the people that live up there. It's estimated about 500 people will attend their breakfast. Thank you so much. The breakfast is, like I said, on July 3rd. It's from 8 to 10 in the morning and they serve pancakes, sausages, fresh fruit, coffee, and juice. The food is prepared on-site and is served inside the fire station. Fire district personnel will provide tours of the station and of the fire engines. The parking is available on the surrounding streets and then also in the fire station's parking lot. Tangier Street will be barricaded in the front of the station. Here is a map sort of showing the layout. So on the right side, you can see where the tables are and the pancakes are made and so forth. There's no neighborhood meeting required for this event. 125 parcels were noticed. I didn't receive any emails or phone calls concerning the event. Various agencies reviewed the application and their comments are included in the staff report. Agencies with conditions, those conditions are included in the conditions of approval. Staff is able to make the 4 required findings as shown in the staff report and recommends approval. And here's a possible motion. I believe the North Lake Fire Department staff is online. Do you see Tia's number? Is Tia on the line? And so the staff is available for question, and I'm available for any questions.
Did they want to make any presentation? No?
They'll just answer questions.
Do we have any questions for Julie? Do we have any public comment on the matter?
We have no public comment in chambers or any hands raised via Zoom.
Okay, bring it back to the board. Go ahead, if we don't have any discussion or questions. Yeah, go ahead.
I move that, Kathy Julian for the record, I move that after giving reasoned consideration to the information contained in the staff report and information received during the public hearing, the Board of Adjustment approve administrative permit case number WAD-MIN 25-0001 for North Lake Tahoe Fire Protection, with the conditions included as Exhibit A to this matter, having made all 5 findings in accordance with Washoe County Development Code Section 110.808.25.
Leo Hirshny for the record, I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to 8B, administrative case number WAD-MIN 25-0002 for the Gamblers Run Music Festival. Mr. Lloyd, can you please announce that?
Yeah, for hearing, discussion, and possible action to approve an administrative permit for an outdoor community event business license for the Gamblers Run Musical Festival. The event will be held at the Crystal Bay Casino Approximately 850 people will be in attendance, and the dates of the festival are July 24th through July 26th of 2025. Once again, representing Washoe County is Planner Julie Olander.
All right, once again, for the benefit of our new members, can we please hear your presentation?
So this is an administrative permit to allow, again, another outdoor event, and similar to the previous one, it requires a permit per the Washoe County Code. This is for the Gamblers Run Music Festival, and it's to be held at the Crystal Bay Casino from July 24th to the 26th. The event will be held, as I said, at the casino, and the outdoor events run from noon to 10 p.m. on each of the 3 dates. Approximately, they're anticipating about 850 people to attend each day event, and it is a ticketed event, so they have tickets to enter the site. The event will include food, drinks, craft, and the live music. The event is a combination of indoor and outdoor events. However, you are only approving the outdoor events with this permit. The food and drink will be provided by the casino with 2 additional food trucks that are located on the west end of the grounds. There will be 5 craft vending booths on the site, and so people can purchase things from those craft vendors. And then the outdoor grounds will be open at noon, and they will have food and drink at that time, and then the craft booths. The live music will start about 2 o'clock p.m. on the temporary stage on the east side of the grounds, and that's backing up the parking garage. There will be a 10 p.m. hard curfew for the outdoor music, that the music will stop, and the guests will be immediately cleared from the area, and any after parties will be held within the casino. Here's a layout of the site. You can see where they have the event organizer information. That's where the parking garage is to get oriented. So that's where the stage is, right there, that white square. And then you can see the booths and different things that are labeled. It's sort of difficult to see. The green little squares are the food vendors, and then the yellow ones are the craft vendors. There will be 2 festival dispatch centers to allow the festival administrators to communicate with officials, crew members, attendees, and outside agencies. The Washoe County Sheriff and the North Lake Fire Protection District will have designated parking spaces next to the festival's security dispatch center. All emergency response agencies will have access to the festival 2-way radios to bridge communications, and the North Lake Fire Protection will be the emergency medical service provider for the event. 5 security teams will patrol the event on foot, and there will be 4 4-foot-high signs will be hung to identify the emergency exits. Oops, sorry. Water will be provided by the casino at 5 portable water stations located throughout the site. There will be 15 standard restrooms and 2 ADA restrooms and 10 double-sided wash stations. Parking will be available at the casino parking garage with 300 parking spaces there, and then there will be additional parking available on the neighboring property located 1 block southwest of the festival grounds. There will be an entry-exit point on Highway 28 and Calneva Way we'll have a traffic control parking attendant located there to direct traffic. And there will be a minimum of 1 attendant located at the Highway 28 entrance. So there's going to be 1 at Calneva and then 1 at Highway 28. Event staff will handle the cleanup, and staff will patrol the site throughout the festival. All rubbish will be placed in dumpsters at the casino, and Crystal Bay Casino has an existing contract with Waste Management, and extra pickups are scheduled on July 25th. The Health District also required extra pickups from Waste Management must be available if needed. No neighborhood meeting was held for this event or this item, and 39 parcels were noticed, and I did not receive any emails or phone calls concerning the case. Various agencies reviewed the application. Their comments are included in the staff report, and agencies with conditions are included in the conditions of approval. Staff is able to make the four required findings as shown in the staff report and recommends approval, and I provide a possible motion here on the screen. I'm available for any questions, and I believe that the people from the casino are also available.
Okay, does the applicant
Online.
wish to make a present?
They do not have, I don't believe they have a presentation.
No, okay.
They did not indicate that to me, and I just believe they're available for questions, as I am also.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the board?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
On page 15, in the note from the fire marshal, it says that additionally, our records show the fire extinguishers are overdue and must undergo annual inspections, but that wasn't one of the conditions. Can we confirm that that has been done?
Oh, you are here, so sorry.
Hi, Eric Rowe for the record, General Manager at Crystal Bay Casino. Yes, those were done on schedule. We seem to have a recurring situation with their new online portal reporting and our service contractor, but those were done on schedule and that has been rectified.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions?
Peter Gashon for the record. I'm just curious, any noise complaints or traffic incidents at past events?
We haven't, so this is our third year. This will be our third year. That first year we did have a call. We're very strict with our hard curfew. I did get nervous last year on the last night because it looked like they were going to play over, but they didn't. So no, we didn't have a single complaint last year.
Kathy Julian for the record. One suggestion going forward is, I think on page 41, where you talk about, or 14, where you talk about various safety issues. I think it's page 41. There isn't coverage of a potential wildfire incident. And I think just for the sake of comprehensiveness, it would be helpful going forward if there is a section that addresses, should there be a wildfire, what is the management thinking of in terms of adjustments? Should there be something in the basin? And I think just in terms of planning, we should always be cognizant that wildfire risk is there. And the fire department doesn't look at that. They only look at the egress, ingress, and the fire extinguishers. But someone should be looking at, okay, what happens if there's a wildfire in the basin at the time? Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Do we have any public comment?
No public comment in chambers. I do have a hand raised via Zoom. Andy Chapman, if you would please unmute and say your first and last name for the record.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Pierce and Board of Adjustment members. My name is Andy Chapman. I'm President and CEO of Travel North Tahoe, Nevada. TNT NV is the official destination management organization for Washoe Tahoe, where we reinvest room tax revenues, encouraging destination experiences that support a vibrant economy, enhance community character, and foster environmental stewardship. TNT NV has worked closely with Mr. Rowe and the Crystal Bay Casino over the past two Gambler-run music festival, and will continue to support this event this coming July. Gamblers Run Music Festival aligns with TNT's missions as stated above. This event delivers economic vitality in a time when there is potential economic waves out there for all of us, while providing community character, all while supporting environmental stewardship with a well-thought-out plan. I encourage you to support today's agenda item and approve Gamblers Run Music Festival. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment?
No further public comment.
Okay, close public comment, bring it back to the board. Do we have any discussion or questions? Or, okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, Kathy Julian for the record. I move that after giving reasoned consideration to the information contained in the staff report and information received during the public hearing, the Washoe County Board of Adjustment approve administrative permit case number WAD MIN 25-0002 for Crystal Bay Casino with the conditions included as Exhibit A to this matter, having made all 5 findings in accordance with Washoe County Development Code Section 110.808.25.
I'll second that motion. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, that brings us on to 8C. It's administrative case number WAD-MIN 25-0003, League to Save Lake Tahoe Fashion Show and Luncheon. Mr. Lloyd, can you please announce?
Yeah, for hearing, discussion, and possible action to approve an administrative permit for an outdoor community event with associated conditions. The application was submitted by the League to Save Lake Tahoe for the League to Save Lake Tahoe Annual Fashion Show and Luncheon, scheduled to be held on August 2nd, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The event is proposed to consist of an invitation-only fashion show and luncheon within a temporary tent structure located on the beach adjacent to Lake Tahoe. The event organizer estimates a maximum of 475 people, which includes 50 support persons taking part in the event. And representing Washoe County in this matter is Senior Planner Courtney Weike.
Thank you, Courtney. Can we please hear the presentation?
Okay, good afternoon. Courtney Weike, Senior Planner, Washoe County. As previously stated, the item before you is WAD Admin 25-003 for the League to Save Lake Tahoe. A brief overview, this is a one-day outdoor community event. It's a fashion show and luncheon. There will be 475 participants with 50 support staff. The event, sorry about that. My screen got locked up. This is an annual fashion show and luncheon that is scheduled to be held on August 2nd from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. The event has been held annually in various locations throughout the Tahoe Basin since 1969 and has, at least for the last many years, has been held at the same location as proposed as last year with no material changes. Let's go ahead and go back now that I'm back on track. The event would be held on the beach adjacent to the lake, to Lake Tahoe on private property located at 1047 and 1055 Lakeshore Boulevard in Incline Village. The applicant has provided copies of contracts to provide security services, fire and emergency medical services, sanitation, and trash removal. The applicant has also provided a copy of their liability insurance. The League to Save Lake Tahoe will have 4 volunteers stationed at the Sierra Nevada University directing traffic into the parking lots and onto shuttles as guests arrive and depart. 1 paid security officer and 1 volunteer will be stationed at the head of the driveway to 1047 Lakeshore Boulevard to ensure no cars enter the driveway. Shuttle buses will utilize the pull-out on the west side of the driveway to offload passengers to ensure the shuttle does not obstruct any traffic. Vendor parking will take place at Cornerstone Church at 300 Country Club Drive on the evening of August 1st and during the day on August 2nd. Staff will also park at the church on August 2nd. All vehicles will be cleared from the property by 7 a.m. on August 5th. Setup and teardown will take place in the 3 days preceding and 3 days following the event. Conditions of approval have been included to limit setup and teardown from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Should have had those notes on this slide, but here's the site plan. No material changes from the previous years. All the applicable agencies and county departments did review the applications. The application and their comments have been included in the conditions of approval appropriately. Staff was able to make all the required findings for the request and was shown in the staff report and does recommend approval. And with that, I have provided a possible motion and am available for any questions, and I believe the applicant is also on the line if you have questions for them as well.
Does the applicant wish to make a presentation?
I doubt it. I don't believe they've indicated so.
Okay.
They'll raise their hand if so.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? None? Okay, do we have any public comment?
Zoom.
Okay. That, we'll close public comment, bring it back to the board. Do we have any discussion, questions? Okay, can I get a motion?
Kathy Julian for the record. I move that after giving reasoned consideration to the information contained in the staff report and information received during the public hearing, the Board of Adjustment approve administrative permit case number WAD-MIN 25-0003 for the League to Save Lake Tahoe, with the conditions included as Exhibit A to this matter, having made all 5 findings in accordance with Washoe County Development Code Section 110.808.25.
Okay, and I'll second that motion. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously. That brings us on to 8D, amendment of conditions for case number WAC 25-0005 for EGET for WPVAR 23-0002 EGET. Mr., if I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. Mr. Lay, could you please announce?
And for hearing, discussion, and possible action to approve an amendment of conditions for WPVAR 23-0002 EGET to extend the expiration date for 18 additional months from June 1st, 2025 to December 1st, 2026 to construct a front yard fence and a garage with living space. The original approval allowed a variance of 2 front yard setbacks from 20 feet to 4 feet and 1.5 feet. A side yard setback from 5 feet to 3 feet. And an increase of the maximum height for a front yard fence from 4 feet to 6 feet. And representing Washoe County in this matter is Planner Tim Evans.
All right, Tim, floor's yours.
Thank you. Tim Evans, planner. So the case before you today is amendment of conditions, case number WAC 25-005 for a variance previously approved as case number WPVAR 23-002. So to give some background on this project, so the variance previously approved in 2023 was for 45 East Tuscarora Road up in the Tahoe area. And so it's for the construction of a front yard fence and a garage with a living space. And so the variance itself allowed the reduction of 2 front yard setbacks, a side yard setback, and an increase of that maximum height allowed along the front property line for that fence. And so the request itself is for an amendment of Condition 1C. And Condition 1C is in relation to the timeline for the applicant to actually obtain building permits for this variance, to actually execute and construct their proposed project. And so what they've requested is an additional 18 months to extend it from June 1st, 2025 to December 1st, 2026. And so here is the site plan that was submitted with the amendment of conditions application. So that area colored in that light blue color towards that left side, it's kind of like a C shape or a box shape there. That's where the actual garage space will be located. And the pinkish red color, that's where the actual ADA accessible ramp that's going to connect to that garage space and the existing dwelling will be located. And so the project was sent to multiple agencies for review. A total of 13 agencies reviewed the project, and 1 agency provided conditions, which is included in Exhibit A of the staff report. Proper noticing occurred for the project. A total of 78 property owners were noticed, and 1 public comment was received, which was forwarded to the board few days ago, and that comment was in relation to actually the approval of the original variance, and what is before you today is just the amendment of that one specific condition. So staff wants to make that perfectly clear that this is not to look at the previous variance that was already approved. And so staff is able to make all the required variance findings as set forth in Washoe County Code Section 110, 804.25. And staff recommends approval and provides the following amended motion on the screen. There should be amended language that was provided to you as well. And the changes that were made was there was a minor typo in the very end code section that was referenced in the motion language that was in the staff report, as well as what has been added is Jeffrey Eget and Wayne Ford. And so I'm available for any questions. And the applicant also has a presentation as well.
Okay, if the applicant would like to give his presentation, now would be a good time to do it. Also, Tim, do you have that amended motion paper copy for us? No?
Just a minute. Tim Evans, planner, so I don't have a paper copy for you
Okay,
right
we'll
at
just
this
put it
moment,
up.
but I have it on the
Okay,
screen.
great.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the board and Washoe County staff. My name's Wayne Ford. I'm the designer for the project. What's before you and for the information that I heard was needed, that's why I'm here, because we're not saying that anything's gone away in terms of the hardship whatsoever. This TRPA holdup is one of where we're breaking new ground. Even though TRPA represents that they have within their code ADA requirements to be met, it's mostly for commercial. There's very little in their code that supports residential ADA requirements whatsoever. We made their case before Mr. Marshall. Took 4 months to get a hearing from Mr. Marshall in a Zoom meeting at TRP offices where he agreed, but he put some very specific conditions on it that we had to go as a single-family residential application to the fire department and get them to agree in writing that this coverage that we needed for additional use to provide access from the garage location that this Board of Adjustment found was a reasonable location, the only one available. To access the home, we need approximately 500 and some square feet more coverage. He did agree if we had certain support. And that took a while because fire departments don't like to write letters or do emails. But they were very cooperative once John James found out what was happening. Once we got past that, we were in the process of correcting the record with TRPA. That took 8 months. TRPA had the site mapped as a Class 1A, the worst classification you can get under Bailey. You're allowed 1% coverage. Later on, it was found, after 8 months of review and having to reestablish what the original topographical grades were in 1936 before the project that exists there, because the home was built in 1936, what those grades would have been. It was determined through that 8-month process. Of course, we have 4 months with Mr. Marshall getting that meeting set up. So there were 12 months alone. It took that 8-month period of time to find out that it was a Class 6, the best buildable parcel possible, and a Class 4. And where that line broke off, we had to go through special findings under the TRPA code to determine where that line of different coverages and different allowed land capabilities occurred. Then, about 3 months ago, on a phone call with a planner with TRPA that represents a lot of the projects in Washoe County and for TRPA, public comments and projects like the cell tower and other things that came before this board in the past. She told me, and I quote, "Before you make application, you should know that TRP does not have any code for ADA for residential findings." I said, wow, here we have your attorney supporting us. She said, you need to make a really good case that is what is necessary. So I'll show you, and I'll provide as part of the record, this is 261 pages of making that good case. This is 19 sheets that tie to every document in here, making that case. This will go in Tuesday morning. We've just started. The last project I had before TRPA took over a year. And each time you submit a correction, whether it's something TRPA's missed or not, they have up to 90 days to respond. So I hope we all live long enough to see this happen. I really do. And we're going to ask for special processing because of the EGOT's hardship they're living with medically. So I just wanted to submit this to the board, and you're more than welcome to read through this if you want. Maybe TRPA will, maybe they won't. I'll find out. So thank you for your time. If you have any other questions, I'd be glad to answer them for you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions right now? Okay, thank you. Do we have any public comment?
No public comment in chambers, and on Zoom, there are no hands raised.
Okay, I'll bring it back to the board. Questions, discussion, or a motion? Can we get that motion put back up on the screen, please? All right, I'll read it. I move that after giving recent consideration and information contained in the staff report and information received during the public hearing, the Washoe County Board of Adjustments approve amendment of conditions case number WAC 25-0005 for Jeffrey Egert and Wayne Ford, with the conditions included as Exhibit A in this matter, having made all 5 findings in accordance with Washoe County Code Section 110.804.25.
Kathy Julian, for the record, I second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. All right, motion passes unanimously. All right, moving on to 8E. This is a special use permit, case number WSUP 25-0008 for Hellmuller Deck. I apologize if I said that wrong. Mr. Lloyd, please announce it.
Yeah, for hearing, discussion, and possible action to approve a special use permit for Washoe County Code Table 110-220-385 for an existing 3,684 square foot single-family residence with a 478 square foot detached garage to demolish, replace, and extend decks and stairways on the main and lower levels. Representing Washoe County in this matter once again is Planner Julie Olander.
The floor is yours, Julie.
So as Mr. Lloyd explained, the applicant is requesting a special use permit for this house because they're going to demolish and then replace the extending decks and stairways. And as you know, because you've heard these cases before, per Article 220, Tahoe Area, Section 110-220-345, a special use permit is required for a single-family dwelling. This property is considered non-conforming because it doesn't have a special use permit. It's never existed on the property. Therefore, a special use permit is required in order to bring this property into conformance with code and allow for the proposed construction. So you can see where the property is located on the right, that little blue dot. And then on the left, it's a little closer, so you can see where it's at. The applicant is planning to, like as I say, demolish and replace extend the stairways and the deck on the main and lower levels. The house does have an elevator that accessed from the detached excuse me, from the detached garage from the upper deck, and the replaced deck will provide a more direct access from that elevator, and that will protect, will be good during the weather and be safer. The applicant states, overall, the proposed deck and stair replacement and extensions will provide a safer method for maintenance, repairs, and everyday access, while also enhancing the exterior aesthetics of the existing single-family residence. And the applicant is not anticipating any negative impacts, and it will not disturb the area or the drainage pattern. Here's sort of a layout, and I think later I should have turned it the other way, but you can sort of see the highlighted in yellow where the stairways and the decks are located. And I want to apologize. I think the application, the staff report you got, this yellow portion moved on me, and it is a little off-centered in what you got, and I apologize for that. Here are two visuals of the deck. You can see different angles. And then here's a visual of the existing stairway. You can see it's sort of old and wooden, so. There is no neighborhood required for this application. 50 parcels were noticed. I did not receive any emails or phone calls concerning the application. Various agencies review the application. Their comments are included in the staff report, and agencies with conditions are in the conditions of approval. Staff is able to make the 4 findings, and a possible motion is found in your staff report. And I'm available for any questions, and the applicant is here, and he's available for any questions. So if you have any questions, we're available.
Thank you. Does the applicant wish to make a presentation?
Thank you, Julie. My name is Mike Vicks. I'm with Monta Vista Consulting. We do have a presentation, but it's basically the exact same as Julie's, and so we won't bore you with reiterating all the details. Just like to, emphasize the fact that this is replacing the existing deck on an existing residence, but due to its location in Crystal Bay, it requires this, special use permit. So that's why we're here today, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. I also believe that the owners are available via Zoom if you have any questions for them as well. So thank you for your consideration.
Wonderful, thank you. Do we have any questions? Go ahead.
Kathy Julian, for the record. I have a question, just out of curiosity. When you replace the deck and the railings and the stairs, what kind of material will you be using, and will it be fire resistant? And is there any code regarding that?
I'm not aware of the exact materials at this point. We're the civil engineer and not the structural engineer, but I know that that's a consideration, and maintenance is also a consideration. This is going to be reviewed by the fire department. We're actually preparing that application right now, and so they look at the materials. Obviously, fire is a concern, and it'll be done in conformance with code and the fire standards.
Okay. Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions, comments?
Leo Harishny for the record. This is probably more for Julie. This has come up before in the past, the idea that the special use permit has to be put in place because the home wasn't initially constructed before the inspections, or that it's an older home that needs to be brought up. When that happens, does that process mean that the home is then looked at overall for construction and any sort of code updates or anything like that? I'm curious how that process works, and this may just be for my information.
I'll go ahead.
This is Julie Olander. I'm going to let Mr. Lloyd respond to this.
That's fine.
Because it's the special use permit requiring these special houses and these houses in Crystal Bay is going to go away, but he might have a little bit better response to you.
To answer your question and through the chair, there was a requirement at the time that the home was constructed that it meet all of the standards and codes that were in place at the time that it was constructed. not required for them to bring it into current code compliance. Except the new development, new construction must meet current standards.
Okay. Thank you.
Peter Gishon for the record. Can I just follow on that? So when they got the variance in 2003, the notion of a special use permit to bring it into compliance didn't exist in 2003?
The code that we had in place at that time did not acknowledge, it did not recognize a special use permit as being required. That code changed in 2020 or 2021, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, no more questions? Okay, do we have any public comment?
We have no public comment in chambers or hands raised via Zoom.
Okay, I'll bring it back to the board for discussion or questions. Do we have any discussion or any questions?
Sorry, one more question.
Go ahead.
Peter Gishon, in your staff report, you made the comment that because the staircase is in the public right-of-way, engineering is requiring a hold harmless, but then I think engineering recites that it's merely within the front yard setback. Is that the same thing?
Julie Olander for the record. My understanding is the variance, and maybe Mike, you can read, there was a variance originally for that stairway, so it is in the public right-of-way. I don't think that engineering reviewed it in that same fashion, but the hold harmless is so that if there's any issues in that area, that the county's not responsible for any of the damage to the stairway.
It's a wild variance to have a staircase.
Well,
in a
Ganawabi
public
is a wild street.
right-of-way. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion, not hearing any.
Leo Harishny, for the record. I move that after giving reasoned consideration to the information contained in the staff report and information received during the public hearing, the Washoe County Board of Adjustment approves with conditions special use permit case number WSUP 25-0008 for the Ganawabi Road Residence Trust with the conditions included as Exhibit A to this matter, having made all 5 findings and according to Washoe County Code Section 110-810-30.
All right.
Peter Gishon, I'll second.
There we go. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously. All right, that brings us on to item number 9, future agenda items. Does anybody have any requests? Okay, a request for information from staff. All right, not hearing any. We'll move on to 10, Director and Legal Counsel. Report on previous Board of Adjustment items.
Yeah, I just have one item to report on. At the April 8th County Commission meeting, the County Commission affirmed the BOA's denial of an appeal of a director's decision to limit parking for a short-term rental that was WSTR 210283, and that's all I have to report.
Trevor, which one was that? Was that McLeod? Didn't we see 2 recently? Harold?
Harold, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything?
Did McLeod get appealed?
You're triggering I don't believe it did. I'd have to go back and take a look, but the one I have to report on is the one on Harold for now. Yeah.
Nothing, Chair.
Nothing from legal? Okay. Do we have any public comment?
I have Wayne Ford in Chambers.
This comment is from me as just a resident, my daughter up at Incline. Kathy, you brought up something really important. There seems to be kind of a blind side to providing for events, evacuation language in the summer months. Given all the development, and I'll say it right now, the STR use of over 800 units in Incline, our population doubles. And the ability to get out of town hasn't changed at all. So when you have Crystal Bay and a large event going on, and we have a fire coming in, let's say from the east shore, moving south towards Incline, one of the evacuation routes is going to be right through that venue. So that needs to be addressed in any kind of event. How are they going to notice people? What kind of controls are they going to have in place so people can get to their cars? Even simple events can turn tragic because of something happening. And I want to share one other thing with you. We went to a meeting last night, my daughter and I, where 3 major parking lots are being planned for the East Shore, where hundreds and hundreds of people are going to be parked. It's going to draw even more people. One of the parking lots at the Chimney Beach has the access from that parking lot right across the highway by foot traffic, where over 300 people will be parked on one side and the beach will be where they go. How do they get back across the road in case of a fire? There has been no discussion of that at all by the engineering people. What will that do to Highway 28 as an evacuation corridor if we have a fire starting, like possibly almost happened last year, coming up the slopes out of Reno area into the basin and forcing everybody the other direction? This is getting serious. I will probably only be in Tahoe for another 4 years, and what took place last year, we lost all of our communication from cell phones during that fire. So I just want to underline that. That's got to be looked at as far as any event that's going on, or somebody's going to pay the price, or many people pay the price. So thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you. She's definitely an asset to our team. Do we have any other public comment?
No further public comment in chambers or via Zoom.
Okay. Well, what everybody's been waiting for. Meeting adjourned.